What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here with another video for you guys. 5 days until the Premier League season kicks off, and we have got a video today where we're going to be looking at the Spurs squad. I know there's about a month left of the transfer window, but we're going to look at the squad as it stands.
The season starts in 5 days, not in a month.
Exactly.
So we've got to look how the squad's shaping up now.
Exactly. So we're going to look at it position by position. Look at how well stocked we are, and also look at who we can sell to drum up a bit of cash as well, because we know that we're in the market for a striker and we've got money for a striker, but after that it's going to be a case of one in, one out to raise funds to sign these new players.
So who can we sell to raise some cash? We need a war chest,
Exactly.
Otherwise it's not going to be getting anyone.
Let's start off with the goalkeepers. We've got 3 goalkeepers, 3 first-team goalkeepers in the squad as it stands. We've got Hugo Lloris, Captain Hugo Lloris, the absolute king Hugo Lloris, Joe Hart and Paulo Gazzaniga. Out of those 3, who would you say is the most...
Yeah, Paulo.
It's a shame, though, because I feel Paulo's a better keeper than Joe Hart.
Well, he's the only one who's actually worth, obviously you're not selling Lloris, so Joe Hart just joined, so if we're going to sell anyone, it's going to be Paulo. I think at this stage in his career, he probably wants to be number 1 somewhere as well. I think he's a great second choice keeper. I think he's done well when he's come in. I don't think he's he would ever be number 1 for us personally. I think if we get a good offer between 8 and 10 million, I think it's a good opportunity to get some money in.
The thing is with Gazza and Joe Hart, can you expect Joe Hart, if Lloris get injured, can you expect Joe Hart to come in and have those performances like Gazza had at Watford away, saving a penalty, man of the match performance? You probably can't, can you?
Who knows? Look, not judging by his last 3 years of his career, you have to say no. You'd have to say no. That's the reality. And he didn't look great in the friendly against Watford either, but... Look, you got to give him a chance. Can't write him off before he started.
By the way, that goal he let in at Watford, everyone's going on about how it was the biggest clanger. First of all, I don't think it was as bad as everyone was saying. I know it was bad and he should have saved it, but it's not as bad as everyone's saying.
Yeah.
And he was blindsided as well.
Yeah, look, it was a mistake. I wouldn't call it a clang. It was a mistake. It was a mistake for sure. He should have saved it. It was straight down the middle of the goal. I don't think it was the biggest howler that everyone's saying, but I think Joe Hart, people are writing him off very, very quickly. And I think, look, I know he has had his past few years have been bad, and I can understand people want to write him off, but just give him a chance at least. Give him a chance to play. And I think, look, if you want to improve the squad and you need to find some cash, I think between 8 and 10 million for a sub-keeper is fine. Sub-keeper is important, but it's not the most important position in the squad.
Do you think that Brandon Austin or Alfie Whiteman are good enough? Or, I don't know, we haven't seen much of them, but do you think they can come in and be a third choice?
They've been third choice Vaughan was third choice last year, but they've been on the bench before and stuff, so clearly they've trusted enough to have with that opportunity. So, look... I'm happy to go in the season with Lloris, Hart, and Whiteman as our keepers, and then raise money. If raising money by selling Gazzaniga means we could sign potentially a centre back or a winger, I'm all for it.
So what are we saying, about 10 million for Gazzaniga?
I think 10 million might be a bit. We'll do well to get 10 million. I think 8 million is probably more likely.
Right,
maybe 8.5 million or something.
All right,
like that.
let's put it down. Let's put it down for 8.
Okay,
let's put it down for 8.
8 million for Gazzaniga.
All right. So
Maybe
that's 8 million so far in the kitty.
All right, come on. We're building a nice little chunk here.
Right back. So the right back situation, we've got Matt Doherty, Serge Aurier, and we've got Tanganga and Foyth who can play there, but it's not their natural positions.
Yeah. Look, I think at the moment we're well stocked to right back at the current stage. We all know that Aurier is very likely to leave, and we're looking to actively sell him. We're looking to get 20 million, which apparently we'll be happy to sell at 20 million.
But we're struggling to get 20
million.
million.
We are struggling to get 20 million. I don't know how much Milan have offered, but apparently they're quite some away.
Well, I heard the reports are only about 5 million away.
So they offered 15.
Something like that.
Okay. So they're not. So maybe there could be a compromise there. Personally, in a perfect world, I'd keep Aurier. I think have him and Doherty battling it out for that right back position, because I think both of them have their strengths, both of them have their weaknesses, and I think it'll be good to have them both for a long season, for long competitions. Especially how the way Mourinho likes his right back to play, likes him to dominate that right hand side and kind of expend a lot of energy. So personally, I'd keep Aurier, but if we're going to sell him, it'll probably be 20 million. Are we going to sign a replacement if we sell him? That's a big question because we need to, I would say.
Yeah, if you're going to sell Aurier for 20 million, what kind of player are you going to get in to replace him? I don't think they're going to be better than Serge Aurier.
They won't be. They won't be. It would have to be a young right back or someone cheap or someone not in favour at their club or something whatnot.
Personally,
have to be.
I agree with you. I personally don't think we should sell him. I think he's the perfect backup choice.
And maybe signing Doherty could, bring his game on a bit. Maybe he could force him to, because he had no competition last year. Aurier, he was playing every game. However shit he played, however well he played, he's playing every single game. And maybe with some competition, it'll force him to up his game and force him to focus on a few things.
So we're going to keep the right back situation as it is and not sell Aurier.
But are we predicting what's going to happen, or are we saying what we would do?
Because
I think clearly Aurier's on his way out. That's the clear. I think he wants to leave. And I think we want to sell. And I think
it's gone very quiet on that front, though.
It has got a bit quiet recently. I've heard conflicting reports. I've heard that we would sign a right back if we do sell Aurier, but I've also not really heard us being linked to any right backs.
But then there was that. You heard what Castagne's dad said. I don't know if that was after we signed Doherty or before, because they were saying that Mourinho had been in contact with them and looking to sign him, but we couldn't afford him at that moment because we needed to sell Aurier before we brought him in. But I'm not sure if that was after the Doherty or before.
Good question. Maybe because Castagne cost 20 million, so it's another 7 million on top of Doherty. So maybe we thought the Doherty came about and it was too good of a deal to turn down, and we just went for it because we couldn't afford to wait on that deal. Whereas Castagne, 20 million, we're not too bothered about, going to the deadline and trying to shave off a few million off that price. Classic Levy. So I would predict it was before we signed Doherty. But that's just me guessing. I don't really know. Look, I think what's going to happen is we're going to sell him for about 18 million.
All right, let's put 18 down for Serge Aurier. Now let's look at the left-back situation. Left-backs, as it stands, are Ben Davis, Dennis Serkin, Ryan Sessegnon, Danny Rose. Tanganga can fill in there if need be.
Yeah, I wouldn't like him as a long-term solution there.
Yeah, so at the moment you've got Ben Davis and Serkin, who are probably the top two, you would say?
That's what we're hearing. Obviously, we've seen Serkin a lot pre-season. He's really impressed. So he's a youngster.
Although I thought he was pretty poor against Watford. But
he gave away a penalty, but I think... by and large, he's been pretty good. It's been pretty positive for him over pre-season, and it's a player we're continually hearing from the journalists and whatnot that he's going to be battling out for the first team.
And Jose. So I'm excited by that. I mean, I'm not sure how Sessegnon would feel about it, that he's rated above him at the moment at left back. But I think Sessegnon is. I think they consider him more as a winger than a.
He has started more as a winger, hasn't he? In the friendlies, so maybe that is true. I think Sessegnon himself says his best position is wing back in a back three, so that's where he considers himself. So
the only one that we would be looking to sell there is Danny Rose.
I can't see us selling either three of those, so it has to be Rose.
Rose is not going to command a fee. I think it's going to be a loan move or...
We're not going to loan him. We won't loan him in his last year of contract. It's either permanent or he's got to be a permanent deal. He's 11 months left. You can't loan a player to go on free transfer.
You loan him to get the wages off the bill. No one's going to pay money for him. I don't think anyone wants him.
Might be able to get 5 million for him if we're lucky.
All right, let's put him down for 5 million. Centre backs, we got Toby, Eric Dyer, Davinson Sanchez, who are the mainstays.
Yeah.
And then you got Juan Foyth, Tanganga, and Carter Vickers. And I would say Carter Vickers is the most likely to go.
Yeah.
And you would say what? Anything between 3 and 5 million?
Something like that. Well, only because he is a USA international, so I think that does count in his favour.
Put him for 5 million.
5 million, I think if we're a bit lucky, we'll get 5 million.
Juan Foyth, I wouldn't like to see go, but I could understand if he was to go, and they're talking about 15 million for him.
15 million. So that's the rumours. Whether he goes on loan or not, let's talk of Leeds. I think if I was him, in all honesty, I would look to move, just because I think he's really out of favour at Spurs, and I think it would be it's very hard to get back in this team considering all the players ahead of him. So
apparently there's offers in Spain for him as well, or some Spanish teams.
It would be a shame to lose him because I think he's a really talented player with a big future. But I think at the moment, if I'm Foyth, I don't want to be wasting too much more time at Spurs because it's been 3 years, hasn't really broken properly into the first team, and especially since Mourinho's come in, he hasn't really had a look in.
Yeah, and obviously Japhet just broke into the team at the back end of last season, and he's ahead of him now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I like Foyth as a player, but I
think he'll be going to be a good player, but I just think at the moment that's just how football works. Sometimes timing is everything. And I think at the moment, if we get a fee, 15 million, that's a profit of like 8 million on him.
Yeah.
So I think we'll probably take it.
If we get rid of Foyth and Vickers, do we need another centre back in?
Yeah. We're looking at another. It's well documented that at the end of the window, we're looking at another centre back. So I think Foyth and Vickers, if we sell them, I think we do probably need one. Unless because that's putting a lot of pressure on Tanganga. Mm-hmm. But maybe he's up to it. He would say he's up to it. He clearly can deal with pressure. Debut against Liverpool, played really well.
I feel for Japhet a bit because he's been spread out to the right back, left back. He has rarely played at centre back for Tottenham.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, the one game he did, but I think it was one. I'm not sure if it was only one game, but he played against Wolves with Dyer, and he didn't particularly impress that much.
Yeah.
So,
but you're talking about a Dyer that was out of sorts at that time, and Tanganga just coming in, so that was a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, it was never really going to be great, but I'm just saying he wasn't exactly exceptional. So Mourinho's well documented to want a centre back, so I think we are going to be in the market for one.
Oh, well, drumming up a bit of cash here.
Yeah, not bad.
Let's go to the centre mids. We've got Tanguy Ndombele.
Yeah, well, could we get an extra 55 million?
Giovanni Lo Celso, Jedson Fernandez, Højbjerg, Winks, Sissoko and Harvey White.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of options there actually when you think about it. At 6, what was that? 6?
Yeah.
7.
7.
Seven centre mids there.
Harvey White is not going to play much in the league. He's going to be more for the cups.
Yeah, so more 6. There's 6 first-team central midfielders battling out for what I presume is only 2 positions because most of the time
could be 2 or 3.
I think most of the time we'll be 4-2-3-1. I think most of the time we'll be playing a central attacking midfielder. I guess sometimes we'll be playing a 3, but that's a lot of players. I reckon it's possible one of them might leave. I think it is possible one of them might leave.
Who though? I don't think so. I think the only player on that list who I see could potentially leave is Sissoko, and that's just because
we know there's always a chance Ndombele could leave.
Yeah, I think Ndombele is going to stay.
I think he is going to stay. Potential 55 million there if we add it to the kitty.
Ndombele's not leaving. I don't think. Yeah. I think the only team that we're in for him at this current moment we're Inter, and they look like they're getting Vidal. So
I think it's more likely he stays than not at the moment.
Obviously, Lo Celso is going absolutely nowhere. Jedson's just on loan. So.
Yeah. Actually, Winks is really the only one on that list who's actually been linked to a move.
Yeah, and even that was very loosely linked.
Yeah,
so.
the Sun saying 40 million to City, so it's not going to happen.
I don't think we're going to make changes in our centre.
If I received a 20 million offer for Sissoko, I would consider it.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't? He's 31 years old. I don't think you're going to get that offer.
Never know. Yeah, probably not. I think, you're probably right. I think all of them are staying, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think those are going to be our options. And to be honest, I think there's a nice balance there. I think the only thing you would worry about is Højbjerg gets an extended injury. There's not really any cover for him. Yeah. But you got, as ball player midfielders go, you got Ndombele, Lo Celso and Winks who couldn't get much better. You got engine rooms in Sissoko and Højbjerg. And then you've got Jedson as well. I don't know what he does, but he does something. He does something. You can maybe figure it out. Maybe we'll figure it out next season. He could be a star. So I think we go into the season with our centre midfielders probably the most settled part of our team.
Yeah, and I think what you're saying about adding that steal, and if Højbjerg was to get injured, I think Winks has been playing that role. I know he's not perfect at it, but I think he has got better.
Yeah, he was improving.
I think he has got better. So I think Winks is going to be more of a utility player this season.
Potentially.
But yeah, I think centre mids, you're right. I think we're well stocked there. Go into the cams. We got Dele, Lamela, Lo Celso as well.
Yeah, I think we're pretty well stocked there. I think the thing is with Lamela, I think we would be happy to sell him. But the problem is, first of all, I don't think there's too many buyers for him. And secondly, I think he really likes it at Spurs. I think he's really happy. I think he gets on really well with his teammates.
And I think Jose really likes him.
I think Jose likes him as hard work. He always makes an impact off the bench. He does. He after the restart, he's making really good impacts off the bench. Personally, I'd sell him if we got an offer of 15 million. I would sell him. But I just think that I think it will be hard to sell him.
Do you not think that those three options lack a bit of creativity?
They're no Eriksen's.
Yeah.
That's for sure. There's no, in terms of passing, I think I'm just hoping Lo Celso can turn himself into a bit of an Eriksen. Because I think he has all the capabilities. I just think at the moment his vision is not as good. Like Eriksen's vision was another level.
Ndombele is the one with that vision.
He is, but he's not quite an Eriksen in terms of he's really good at through balls and passing like that. But what Eriksen was great was, being in the final third within
and just picking out the man.
Yeah, those little crosses from anywhere. He could cross the ball from any position.
Yeah, and it hit Dele's head,
exactly.
Hit Kane's head.
And Ndombele is really good. He's like a five-a-side player. He's really good on the floor, through balls, little passes, 1-2s, little skills. He's great at that. But does he have a vision to be on the right-hand side of the penalty area and pick out a cross onto someone running far post?
At the end of the day, we don't know because he hasn't had an extended run.
Yeah,
in the team.
but that's not what he does. We haven't seen that for Leon, even at his best. What he's great at is being in the centre, Musa Dembele was great at that kind of stuff. But he's not someone who in the final third is going to pick out a cross from any position. You know what I mean? Eriksen has eyes at the back of his head. He can see someone running back post and be looking this way and see someone running back, whipping a ball. That's
what I'm saying. That's why we need more creativity in this team.
We do,
Dele can't be that guy, can he?
No, he's good at creative passes, but he's not. He doesn't have the vision of Eriksen. He'll get you assists, Dele, in that position, no doubt about it. But he's not an Eriksen. Eriksen was an assist machine. He was an assist king. People underestimate how much his vision gave us. It gave us so much.
Yeah.
And to lose that, it's not easily replaceable.
Even when he was at us, when he was out the team for a bit, injured or whatever, we just couldn't create anything when he was off the team.
Not only did he have the vision, he just had the execution as well. He just had everything. Yeah. So it's really tough to replace that. It's not easy. You're looking at people in world football. He's in the top 5 for that kind of vision around the box. So replacing that is obviously going to be difficult. We just got to hope that Lo Celso can kind of turn into that player. That's who I'm pinning myself on, because I think if anyone in the squad is going to do that, it's going to be him. I think he has kind of the long-range passing range and the accuracy to do it. But at the moment, that's not him. So I think until he arrives at being that kind of player, we might struggle a bit. That's what I'm worried about. We got to kind of find different ways to create. I think Dele, we just got to pin our hopes on Dele and hope he contributes from a goal scoring standpoint, and as opposed to maybe being that assist king that Eriksen was.
When Dele was on form and he was contributing, it was a lot of it was down to Christian Eriksen.
It was. How many times would Dele run back post and Eriksen would just find him time after time? That assist in the FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea. Yeah. That doesn't happen. Unless Eriksen's on the pitch.
There's 2 goals that Dele scored against Chelsea at White Hart Lane.
Both of them were set up by Eriksen, yeah. So Eriksen was a massive point. I think people completely underestimate how important he was. And people were so desperate to get rid of him, blah, blah, blah. This guy was elite.
He was elite, but he had to go. It was.
I know, but he was elite. He was an absolute elite, and people say I wouldn't take him back. Well, if he's willing to come back, I wouldn't say no.
Yeah, but he stopped playing for us, and who says he'll start playing for us again?
Who knows? No, he wouldn't join unless he wanted to play for us.
Yeah. So are we selling Lamela 15?
I would sell him. I don't think we will sell him, but 15 million for Lamela.
That's how much we can get for him. Wingers now: Heung-min Son, Steven Bergwijn, Lucas Moura, Jack Clark, and Sissoko and Sessegnon can play there as well.
Yeah, I think. There's talks of us potentially looking at a winger in the transfer market if a deal can be done late in the window, if there's an opportunity, as they say. Romano says we're looking for a winger. So I think it's because he sees Moura, he sees Son, he sees Bergwijn, but then I don't think he has much faith in anyone else really on the wing.
Clark. Well, Sessegnon and Clark both kids still. So
yeah, I think Clark. I think he needs a loan move. I don't think we'll sell him, but he needs another loan move. He's not ready for the first team, in my opinion. Didn't pull up any trees in the Championship. I haven't been that impressed in the pre-season. I think he's done okay, but he's not really taking it.
Just a few runs.
It's just I don't think he's really ready for the Premier League.
I don't know if Sessegnon is either, to be honest.
And that's the thing. The thing with Sessegnon is he's probably not. We know he has the quality to be a Premier League player, in my opinion. So I think if we could just, whether he plays left back or. I think he does. I think they believe in him. but I just think he hasn't shown the quality yet.
I haven't seen enough from him yet. I mean, the last time we've seen him play consistently well was in the Championship when he was 16 years old.
Yeah, it's true. 17, I would say. 17 years old.
The way it looks is that Heung-min Son and Bergwijn for the left, and Lucas Moura and one other for the right.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously Bergwijn can play left or right. He's equally comfortable. But I think
he's been pushed out to the right a lot, Bergwijn, because of our squad.
And obviously Lamela can play on the right as well.
Yeah.
But I don't think he likes him on the wing.
I think Lamela's more suited to the centre these days.
Yeah, I think because of the way Mourinho likes to play, I think that's how he likes it. He likes really pacey players on the wing. That's why we're looking at one. So I think those
Bailey.
Those three obviously nailed on to be in the squad. I can't see us getting any money for anyone else.
No, we're not going to be selling any of those wingers, let's be honest.
And obviously Sissoko can play that defensive role on the wing. He's done that before on the right-hand side, kind of like Matuidi does for France.
Yeah.
He plays that kind of role. So I wouldn't rule that out. Maybe, City away, Sissoko playing that role, that kind of thing, you know what I mean? But
I like our options at wingers, but we just need one more, I feel
like one more is just perfect. You got two covering both positions, pacey. You can take two off and bring two on, and it causes the defense all sorts of problems. At the moment, it's like very good options, but it's not perfect. It's like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
But if you want to be a 10 out of 10, we need one more.
Agreed. Obviously, the strikers, it's well documented that we need one. It's also well documented that it looks as though that we're going to have money to spend without selling anyone to bring in a striker.
Yeah.
We've only got Harry Kane as the only recognised striker in the squad, and Heung-min Son is backup.
Who's also a player who he's quite a good backup. You got to say, whenever he stepped up, whenever Kane's got injured, it's not actually Kane specifically who we've missed.
Mm-hmm.
It's more that we because Son usually steps up. Son has a really good record, I think, as backup for Kane. It's just that when we have to play Son up front, it just takes away from the place on the wing, and then we have to fill that position either with usually with Lamela or whatnot. So I think
it could be Lucas on the right, Bergwijn on the left, and Son up top.
Yeah, I know, but then you got three pacey, but then you got no physical presence, really, do you? So I think
Bergwijn's quite physical.
Yeah, he is a bit physical, but I think Son's been a very good backup. We just need another option to Harry Kane if he ever gets injured. Like we can't cross the ball in the box how many goals did Son get from crosses? Very not a lot. He usually has to get them on the run, running in behind, that kind of thing. So it kind of takes a weapon out of our armoury.
Should have scored one on the cross against Liverpool at home. Remember that?
Oh
miss?
Yeah, no, it was Celso, wasn't it? Son missed one on 1-on-1, didn't he? So
yeah, you're right.
So we need another option for Kane as a presence in the box if Kane was to ever get injured. That's why we're so desperate, and that's what he wants, Mourinho. We all know that. It's well documented. He wanted a target man in January. We tried every single target man there was to find in Europe, but he still didn't get one. And
in hindsight, are you happy that we didn't get any of those strikers we were linked with in January? Because I don't know if any of them were that good.
None of them.
Piatek, I was never excited about. Who was the other one from Spain? Willian Jose, I wasn't really excited about either.
There was no one who really excited me that much, but I think there are some players who could have done a decent job for us. You say, am I happy that we didn't get one? Well, it didn't work out, did it? We didn't get the Champions League football, so no, I'm not happy. I think we needed a striker desperately. We didn't get the one, and it cost us. Look, we decided not to go for a short-term fix in favour of playing long-term. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying for that you are risking the short term. We did risk the short term and it didn't pan out in the short term. Maybe it will pan out in the long term if we get the striker we want this summer, but in the short term it didn't work out because we didn't finish top 4.
Yeah.
And it's because a big part of that is because we didn't have a striker. Massive part of that.
Yeah, but who's to say Willian Jose or Piatek would have hit the ground running and got us Champions League football?
No one's to say that, but it's better than having nothing, because nothing. That's what nothing got us. We know what nothing got us, so it couldn't have been any worse, to be honest.
Yeah, but
it could not have been.
Having another Janssen or Soldado up front, it makes no difference.
Yeah, but at least we have someone who's a bit of a presence you can knock the ball up to. Even if it is a Janssen, at least he can be a presence up there and cause different kind of issues. When we don't have that, we have no threat.
We had literally Dele
holding
up top
the ball.
doing nothing.
We have no. It's so easy for strikers, to centre backs, just get tight on him and bully him, and that's it. You got no presence. You can't cross the ball. They know we can't cross the ball in the box. They force us to keep crossing because we can't cross it. No one had the ball. No presence in the box. That's it. It's easy to defend against, and we don't have that other option. So we needed it. We didn't get it, and that was it. We better bloody get one this summer. I'm telling you.
We have to.
We have to.
It's got to be our main priority.
It's actually a bit of a joke. We still haven't got one.
It's been like 4 years we've been looking for a striker.
To be honest, it's since last summer when we got rid of Llorente. It's been a massive priority.
Yeah.
So we have to get one, but obviously we're not going to sell any. We're not selling Kane. So
yeah.
So how much of money have we built up?
I think we've built up about 66 million.
66 million.
So 8 million for Gazaniga.
Mm-hmm.
You got the maths going in your head.
Yeah.
8 million for Gazaniga. 18 million for Serge Aurier.
24.
5 million for Rose. 5
29.
million for Vickers.
34.
15 million for Lamella.
49.
15 million for Juan Foyth.
And 15 million for Juan Foyth. So 49 and 64 million. Well, so if we sell all of those, right, that's 60 million, 65, 4 million added to the kitty, which is pretty good, including the money we already have apparently for a full striker.
Yeah, so striker aside, if we were to sell all those and bring in that money, we'd need a right back,
centre back,
a centre back, and a winger. You think we could do that for 65? No, it says striker aside because we've got money for a striker.
Striker aside. So can we get those three for 66 million? Well, look, considering we got Højbjerg and Doherty for 18 million plus Walker Peters.
It's a strike of luck though, those deals.
30 million. That's what we got to do, but that's what we have to. That's Spurs. We have to get the opportunity, otherwise, we're not gonna. We can't compete with these other teams for big. To be
honest, you pay 20 million for each of those positions, and we've got money left over.
That's not bad. 20 million for centre back, 20 million for right back, and 20 million for a winger. What winger can we get for 20 million? That's the thing.
Leon Bailey, 25 million.
25 million for Leon Bailey. We'll take that.
Yeah.
Centre back, who are you getting? Kim Min-jae for 15.
Yeah, but although we got a direct message from a Chinese fan of ours, and he said Kim Min-jae's rubbish.
So don't bother with Kim Min-jae.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I did see that. So maybe he knows his stuff. Maybe he knows better than our scouting team.
He said he's really gone off the boil at Beijing, but maybe because he's looking at a move away or something.
If we don't get, if it's not Kim Min-jae, who are we getting for 20 million?
Like West Ham are going after James Tarkowski, and they want like 50 million for him.
Yeah.
If he's going for 50 million, like who are we going to sign?
I don't know. Ben Godfrey? Get him as fourth choice?
Yeah. 20
million? Someone from Norwich, would that be the worst thing in the world?
I don't think it would be the worst thing. I think they'd be more suited than Juan Foyth.
Yeah. And he's English. We already got Toby Dyer and Sanchez who are pretty solid. So I would preferably want someone like Skriniar really compete for the first team. But if we get someone like Godfrey who's got potential to step up, it's not the worst thing. You get then right back. You get one of the options we were going through before, like Zeki Celik and these heads.
Yeah.
And like 20 million, splash 20 million on them. Then bam, we've got a fully fledged squad.
Yeah. I think it's all starting to shape up, and I think if we can get this sort of money in, then I think we can buy 3 good players.
If we do what we just said, if we sell those players, get the 3 players in, what do you think this squad is capable of?
I mean, with Jose on his first season and the year ending in 1.
Surely a trophy. Surely a trophy.
I don't know, but I think it's well within our capabilities to finish top 4 and win a trophy or 2 this season. FA Cup.
If we do that, what's the biggest priority? Do you think? Probably obviously apart from a striker, because that's number 1.
I think the biggest priority out of them is
right back, centre back, winger. Maybe a backup right back.
First of all, right back, because the only one in the squad would be Doherty if we sell Aurier.
Yeah.
And I think winger and centre back are pretty level. I think we're well stocked in both positions, but we just need one more to make it more comfortable.
So surely the smartest thing would be, if we have to splash 20 million on a right back, just fucking keep Aurier, and then that takes 15 million off what we got, the kitty. So that's 49 million. So you spent 50 million on a winger, and a centre back, and that's it.
What about this? Gareth Bale. Real Madrid want him off the wages
for free.
Yeah, get Gareth Bale for free in. Give him a 30 million signing on fee. Pay him 150 grand a week, and that covers his wages pretty much.
I mean, I'll take it. What I think the most likely thing is, I honestly do not think this is beyond the realms of possibility if we do get him on loan. and pay a big portion of his wages. I don't think that's beyond the, because Madrid are sick of the sight of him. I think something has to give this summer with Bale. Something has to give.
I don't
surely.
think we pay the wages. I think we give him a big signing on fee or something like that.
Well, either way, I think surely he can't go on and on like this, just sitting on the bench doing nothing. He has to do something.
30 mil on Bale and 15 on a right back and 15 on a what did I say? Centre back.
Centre back. For me, I think a perfect window, perfect window. Keep Aurier. Don't bother buying and signing another right back. Sell the other players we said, and then buy a centre back and get Bale in. So centre back and a winger, and bam, you got a perfect window.
What about if you keep Foyth and keep Aurier and sell the other players and just swap them for Gareth Bale?
I wouldn't say no to that either. That would be pretty good. How much if we keep? That's 30 million off. So that's only 34
we've got 36 million left or something.
We'll spend that all on Bale.
Yeah,
let's do it.
All on his wages, pretty much.
Let's do it. Fuck it. Let's do it. I mean, he's getting rid of Lamella though.
All right, you heard it here, Daniel. Lamella for Bale. That's what do you mean? It's a no-brainer.
No, I'm saying we have to get rid of him. Like, who's he going to?
Yeah, he's going to China or he'll go to Italy or something. Anyway, look, that is that was a long haul video, that one, but
racing the new Gareth Bale for the old Gareth Bale.
Exactly. Get the transfer committee out. We're going to take over. We're taking over now.
If we do that, who knows what we can achieve this season? Honestly, if we if we get Bale in or something like that, one marquee sign for the end of the window, who knows?
Yeah,
I think we can achieve big things.
I agree. It's
a really talented squad.
Yeah, and I think when you stack it up against Chelsea's, United's, and Arsenal's, a lot of people are saying our squad is a lot weaker than them, but I just don't think it is.
But how good is our squad if we only just get a striker, no one else? Now, just from now,
it's good, but it's not great. I think if we get the targets that we're talking about, we have a really great, well-balanced squad. If we just get a striker in, I think we can still challenge for top 4. If we get the targets we're talking about, I'm not saying we can go for a title challenge, but I think we can finish maybe third and close the gap a tiny bit on the top 2.
I agree with you. I think at the moment we've got a squad good enough for a top 4 challenge, but if we really want top 4 and a trophy, we need those other things.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you have it. That is our squad overview. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought of our kind of comments, who you think we should sell, who you think we should keep, how much you think we can get, and also who we should bring in with that money. Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, come on, you Spurs.